Hello and welcome to Digital and Social Media Marketing Week 6. This week we'll be looking at display advertising. So we've got a few things to get through. So first we're going to do a quick introduction about what display ads are. Then we'll look at display networks and how they work. And we'll look at audience targeting. Number 3, we're going to look at ad design and optimizing display ads. Number 4, we're going to look at retargeting, which comes back fairly often. And number 5, we're going to look at the importance of consistent messaging in display advertising. So the learning objectives for this week, first of all, we want to describe the role of publishers and advertisers within a ad network, a display ad network. And we need to be able to distinguish between CPC, CPM and CPA bidding strategies and how that works. And then number 3, use the Google Ads platform to identify target audiences for our adverts. And then last of all, we want to create a test to determine which of the two ads, our display ads, are more effective. So let's get started then. What is display advertising? So display advertising refers to the use of banner ads, videos, images, or other visual visual elements displayed on websites or social media platforms to promote either a brand, a product, or a service. Now these ads can be static, so it's just like one picture, or they can be animated, which is like a series of pictures, and they can include text, graphics, and multimedia elements. So you can be a little bit creative in that. Now I've got an example here. I've highlighted it with the red squiggly lines around there. So this is a display ad for Squarespace. And it's on a website. So this website that I've chosen for the example is DotaBuff, which is just like a website for people that play video games. And here's another one there as well. So this is one type of ad by Squarespace. This is another one. It's actually by the University of Tasmania. And you can see the different size, but the formats, the way that it works is fairly similar. And we'll look at a few of those as we go through. So display ads are very popular in digital marketing and are used to drive traffic to the websites. They can also increase brand recognition, which leads to long-term growth. So unlike, we looked at search engine optimization and paid search, and in that is when the customer or the user is originally, they're already typing in words into the search engine, so they might be searching for, like men's running shoes or something like that. However, in this case, they could be just to say on the news website and thinking about, what's going on in the world today, and then they are exposed to your advertisement. So you could be reaching very, quite a broad range of people. And for that reason, if you're exposing people to your product offerings or your brand positioning, then that people might not be in the consumer decision-making process. They might not be intending to buy at that stage, but you're actually raising awareness about your product or what kind of offers you've got in the marketplace. So in that way, they can lead to long-term growth. Marketers spend billions of dollars per year on display advertising, and display advertising accounted for the largest ad spend share in 2022, and it reached $244 billion US. All right, so we're talking a lot of money here. So it's quite important for digital marketing, and for that reason, if you do end up getting a job in digital marketing, you're probably involved in creating or managing display ads, right? So so that's the introduction. Now let's have a look at what display networks actually are. So display networks is a group of online publishers. Now these are like websites or mobile apps that partner with advertising platforms to display ads on their websites. So I've already given the example of DotaBuff. Other examples are like the Mercury newspaper, the Examiner newspaper, news.com. Basically any website that has a lot of traffic coming to their website and they want to make some extra money by having ads on their website. Websites could do that themselves. They could just go directly to a marketing agency and go, hey, do you want to put ads on my website and I'll charge you for it. Or they could go directly to businesses themselves and go, do you want to advertise your product on my website? But that's quite difficult to organise. It takes a lot of mucking around, you'd be always on the phone trying to line up new people to put ads on your website to continue to sell the advertising space that you've allocated on your website. Whereas if you go join a display network, it's so much easier because you'll just go, well, we've got a website, we get a lot of traffic, we're just going to connect in with just say the Google Display Ad Network, and then we're going to meet their requirements. They can put their ads on there, and then Google do all the hard work about connecting advertisers with publishers. So the display network sets the standards for the sizes that can be displayed on the websites. And when, as digital marketers, when we go in to create a display ad, there's quite a few rules or formats that we have to stick to, like the size of the images have to be a certain thing, the size of the files, like how many megabytes or kilobytes it is, and also like the length and the width of it, and that's to fit into these spaces, right? So I'm going to go back one or two, go back to here. So this one here, this Squarespace ad is one standard size, and you can go to multiple different publisher websites and you can see this format of ads, which would be for different products or services, but actually be the same size. And again, this is another standard size, this one here. All right, we're going forwards now to where we were. So display network set the standards for the size that can be displayed on the website. Now the display network coordinates which ads are displayed on what websites. So as digital marketers, we have a little bit of influence, but we can't go, oh, we want to be on the Examiner on Monday and the Mercury on Tuesday or whatnot, or we basically say we want to be on these, we want our display ads showing up on these networks. So then which ads are shown when is all determined by the display network, like Google. Also connects payments for ads and reports the performance of the ads, which makes things so much easier. Like as I said before, you don't have to continually chase down new advertisers or digital marketers trying to sell ad space. Basically, Google does the whole lot, and then they'll just pay you directly per how much traffic you have to your website and how many impressions or how many people are seeing those ads that you're allowing on your website. So here's an example of publishers. So a publisher joining the display network has a website or a mobile application like the Mercury newspaper. The website must fit the specifications of the display network. The publisher includes code from the display network that enables the ad on their websites. And these publishers are paid a percentage of the revenue for selling the ad space. And it can be quite profitable. So I'm going to pull up my web browser here. I'm going to go across there. If we type in the Mercury newspaper, now just see what happens when I click on the URL and what happens when the page loads. Now I want to point out a few things as this happens. So I've disabled my ad blocker here. You can see the page loads first. It's saying advertisement, advertisement, but these haven't actually loaded yet. So the page still thinking about it. So having these ads does impact the performance of the websites. And now we have the Mercury newspaper here, which is all the stuff that we're coming to see. But on the sides we have or at the top, sorry, I should say, we have one ad, and here we have another. This is a mini ad, and then we have another big one here. Now, if I click on this banner ad, it should take us to so this ad is taking us directly to the homepage of Tas Networks. We're going to analyze this in a little bit more detail. It's not actually such a good thing. They should really, if they're doing this properly, they should have a specific landing page, because so if you're involved in Tas Networks and doing the digital marketing for them, stay around for the rest of the lecture series, because you'll learn how to do this better as we go along. Here's another one. I'm going to click on this ad here in a second and see where this takes us. So this one has a designated landing page. What is this? This is for the dance thing. I want to dance with somebody. So these change all the time. So when I'm preparing my stuff, it changes. So you can see already now that this has a campaign specific landing page. So they've put the effort into this, and they're selling tickets for a particular thing. So this ad, despite the Tas Networks one actually taking up more space, this tiny little one's actually better optimized. Now, if I click on here, so this is GoDaddy. So I get a lot of digital marketing ads at the moment, because that's what I'm doing research on and stuff in the preparation for the lectures. So GoDaddy is basically hosts domain names. A lot of people know that already. So if I right click on here and go inspect element, we can see it's running a bit slow here. While we're at the top, it said on the lecture slides that it displays the code for the display advertising network, and we can see that. So body type, where are we? So if we go here, this has got display. We open up this string of code here. Where are we? This one here. Head tracker. All right. So you can see in this division class, we've got head ads tracker. Sorry, header ads container sticky, and in here it's got the content, the code that's used by the Google Ads to work out what to do with the which basically links back to the Google service to say what ads to show and when. Alright, so I'm going to close all this down now. I'm sure we'll look at this a little bit more as we come along. So, has to fit the specifications. We include the code, which is looked at. These publishers are paid a percentage from selling ad space. So Mercury's going to get money from Google for hosting ads on there. And Google's going to be getting the money from places like Woolworths, who are paying to show these ads. Alright, advertisers. Advertisers create and upload ads for their products, which is what marketers do, right? So these ads must meet the specifications of display network, so you can't make any size you want. And another important thing is the actual size of the file. So you can't have high definition photos. They need to be light, and that improves load times and all that sort of stuff. So advertisers set the parameters for the ad targeting, such as the age of the people that want to see it, the gender, interest, etc. And we'll go into that in a little bit more detail as we go along. Now, the price of display ads vary. So, similar to search ads, in a display network, digital marketers actually bid on ad space. So you don't just have a set price, we're bidding for these things. So for display ads, advertisers have multiple bidding formats to choose from. And this is CPC, cost per click, CPM, cost per mile, which is cost per 1,000 impressions, and then CPA, which is cost per action. So let's have a look at those in a little bit more detail. So CPC bidding is similar to search ads. We looked at CPC for that. Advertisers pay per click, which is when someone actually clicks on the ad. So you're only paying if ad's getting clicked on. So if your ad is viewed a lot, but no one clicks on it, you won't have to spend very much money because you're getting a lot of visual exposure, but there's no clicks coming from there. So as an example, if a marketer pays $1 per click and 200 people click on the ad, that campaign is going to cost $200. All right, CPM, cost per mile, means digital marketers pay per number of thousands of impressions. Now, this is the number of times the ad is shown on the website. So impression is basically every time somebody sees it. So for an example, if a marketer pays $1 per mile, remember per mile, like the word mile comes, like millennia, comes from the Latin word, I can't remember what the Latin word is, something like milli or something like that. So that effectively means per thousand. That's where we get millimeters, and this means 1,000. So $1 per 1,000 impressions. So if the ad is shown 300,000 times, so it's $1 for every 1,000, and there's 300,000. That's 1 for 300. That's $300. All right, cost per action. Oh, hang on, I've got a typo in there. I've got CPC, so that should be CPA. Cost per action is when the digital marketers pay for the conversions from the ads. To use CPA bidding, the website must have conversion activated in the analytics, which we had a quick look at. Oh, so that was the actual display ad ones. We've seen the analytics software in the past as well, so we know what that is. And the reason why that is because cost per action is when the action will be the conversion. So when somebody actually buys something. So for the pricing to work, Google's going to have to know when a purchase has actually been made. So if you have the Google Analytics software on there, which tracks it from when people come to your website as they progress, so then they click on the product, they go to the cart, fill out their details, and then actually make the purchase through the e-commerce shop, then Google can track that and go, hang on, that person has actually made a purchase, therefore you have to pay for that. So for example, if a marketer pays $25 per action, and for this sake we'll call an action a purchase, 10 people buy the ad will cost 25 times 10, so that's $250. So which might seem high, 25. So if you're selling a $15 t-shirt on eBay, you wouldn't really want to be paying $25 per action because you're going to be losing money really fast. But if you're selling big products, just say like gaming computers, which cost $3,000-4,000, or TVs, or something that you're selling online that's quite expensive, $25 can be quite a reasonable amount to pay for your customer. And remember, I've made these prices up to just to be convenient for the maths, and that's sort of similar, the prices will vary based on the market because it goes through the bidding strategies, right? So look at bidding now. So advertisers bidding on ad space may use different bidding methods. Now, display networks convert the different bid methods into a common price, and to make the comparison, the ad networks track the click-through rates, so they can actually convert the CPC, the cost per click, into cost per miles. So you think, oh cool, we're paying CPC, cost per click for search, so we want to pay cost per click for display. So you think you're doing something really cool, but at the end of the day, Google's just going to convert that into a CPM anyway, and then go, well, this is how many compressions you get. Typically, for just say 10,000 impressions, you'll get this many clicks. So that's how we're going to work out what your CPM, your CPC rate is. All right, so that's it for the first part. Now we're going to look at audience tracking.